Welcome everyone to another one of Mission Hospice's community education offerings. We are thrilled to be able to offer this kind of programming in the community and virtually, mostly virtually this year, and especially for today's presentation with Connie Borden. I know we're all in for a treat. Vanessa and I were just speaking. We're looking forward to this as much as you are. Connie Borden has worked professionally as a nurse practitioner in hospice and palliative care for 26 years. And she is also a fourth Dan Shintaido instructor with 35 years of study and teaching. I was just saying that that's probably a wonderful combination of being an executive and having this practice, which she's going to share with us. She's presented body movement techniques at the California Hospice and Palliative Care Association, the National Hospice and Palliative Care Association, as well as at global end-of-life conferences. And she is a community education ambassador for Mission Hospice, which we're thrilled to have her as part of the Mission Hospice family. And we spoke briefly before this. Connie's going to sit back after she says a few welcoming words to you all so that she can show us and demonstrate as we're going to do this, learn this practice from Connie. And then we'll have some time for Q&A at the end as well. But if you do have questions as it's going ongoing during the session, please put them in the chat. No, there will be time for Q&A at the end as well. Welcome, Connie. Welcome you all, and thank you so much for offering this to our community.
Well, thank you, Mary, and thank you, Vanessa, and welcome everyone. I'm glad that you were able to take some time this afternoon. What I'm presenting is a series of sort of three parts. We're going to start with some stretching and some self-massage. Very often we don't take care of our bodies, and especially when we're in the process of caregiving, we may find ourselves just carrying a lot of tension in our shoulders, our neck, our eyes, our jaw. So we'll work on being able to just release some tension. The mid part, we'll have an opportunity to use our voice a little bit. You can stay muted if you want, or you can open your mic at that time. Or if you're in a setting where you can't use your voice, you can just internally make a voice. Sometimes we find that when we use the voice, it helps change the energy flow. So that exercise is designed more to begin to change the feeling that perhaps there's sort of negative, unhealthy kind of feelings to more light and bright and healthy emotions. And once we've done a little bit of moving, then we'll spend the closing part in a short meditation. The meditation that we do with Shintaido continues to focus on a movement. And this is because, as you probably well know, that anytime you've asked yourself or thought about, I'm going to sit and meditate, you find your brain is doing the to-do list, thinking about what you're going to cook for dinner, where you have to go next. So often if you can move while you're doing some of this mindful meditation, it pulls you back to now, the present, which is what we're trying to strive for. So as I've presented this and we've talked with people, caregivers, whether you're professionally caregiving or caregiving for your family or part of work, being able to do a little bit of some self-care, followed by being a bit more mindful and aware, usually helps rejuvenate and refresh you. And you might find that you end up with a little bit more creativity, a little bit more tolerance, and you're able to walk into the next new session without sort of taking, what's already been happening into the prior session. We often think about that for patients' rooms, right? Or when we go into their house, leave what's been bothering you for the day at their doorstep, walk in to where they are so that you can be fully present with what their needs are. And that's a large part of what these exercises are done to do. You can also use them just as one or two movements. You don't have to be doing necessarily say, oh, I have to have 30 minutes to do this. No, you can do some of them as 1 or 2 minutes. So I'm going to change seats so I can move back a little bit and you can see my upper body more on my arms. And from where you are, just make sure that, the environment around you, just let your arms move out a little bit and up, just that you're not hitting anything obvious. I know I have a wall behind me, but just make sure that there's not a lamp you're going to knock over or a favorite, something on your desk, a memento. So just make sure that you have a little bit of movement to start movement around you so you can move. And let's just start by first just rocking side to side, letting the weight move from one hip down into the chair and let your shoulder and neck follow. So let In this case, my left hip is floating up a bit, and I'm going to let that come down in the chair, and now I rock to my left side. We've all probably at times taken care of young children, and we know how soothing rocking is. So rocking can be just as soothing for us as adults. There's a rhythmic flow to that. And in this case, by sort of shifting our hip down, we're also centering where we are. So we rock and we soothe and we center. Just be aware of how your body moves through space. You can also begin to take a little self-awareness. Where is the tension today? Is it in my neck, in my shoulders, in my hands? Good. And now we rock side to side. So now we're going to rock forward and back. Same sort of thing, feeling yourself move on your pelvic bones. And you're just moving yourself in the chair forward and back. Anyone who's done a belly dancing, that kind of a movement, just forward and back with the pelvis, rocking. Good. And back to side again, and just check again. Are you feeling a little bit more centered, a little bit more aware? Are you here and now in this chair, this place, this time? Good. And bring your hands together and create a little friction. I'm up in San Francisco, so we've got sort of a June gloom, foggy day, so a little heat's good for me, but I know you might be other places that are hotter, so you may want to think about nice cooling sensations passing through your fingers, but just let them rub and create some friction. Good. And then with a little tapping motion, tap up the inside of your arm and down the outside of your arm. Go at your own pace, tapping, feeling that little bit of vibration. You can think about it helps the blood flow, it helps the lymph flow, or it just feels good. And as you come up this time, help support the elbow a little bit and go ahead and tap yourself across your shoulder, your back there. Give yourself a little praise. Hey, I showed up today. I'm going to do this for me today. So give yourself a little pat in the back here. Yay, we're doing it. And back down again. And rubbing hands. And come over to the other side and tap up the inside and down the outside. And up the inside and down the outside. Up. And as you get up to your shoulder, help support the elbow again. And a little pat on the shoulder for that side. Oh, good. It feels good. Little tap there, little praise. Take a moment to say thank you to yourself. Thank you for having a healthy body that's functioning today to do this for you. Little gratitude and back down again. Good. Continue to rub your hands back and forth. And this time, interlace the fingers in between. So I'm bringing one set of fingers inside the others, and I'm just applying pressure from my fingers on the others. And I'm moving myself from the inside through my knuckle joints out toward my fingertips. If you're beginning to get any sort of arthritis or just a lot of computer work, often this feels very good just to squeeze and pay attention to our hands that are such wondrous things. And now switch and feel very strange because you're going to go the other way. That was your natural way to go. Now my other fingers are on top and squeeze again. And squeeze out toward the tips and back in. We'll do this another time around. Good. And one more time. And bring these nice warm hands up to your face. And let's just massage around the temple there. We've been doing a lot of computer work. This will feel good. Right at the temples, just a nice small circle, a nice little affirming touch to yourself. Good. And come on down and round the jaw below the ear. So you're just giving that jawline. If you tend to clench your teeth, carry your tension there. Just massage. These are all ways just to help yourself. Be aware of where do you carry tension? What needs to be released a little bit today? Take your fingers and just run your fingers now back over the top of your head into the back of your neck. And again, just be aware of where there might be tension in the scalp. Just letting it flow through your hair. Good. And this time as you come back to the back of your head, you're going to again interlace your fingers and put them on the back of your head. So it's a nice support. And just lean back with a little bit of pressure from the neck into your hands and hold that. And release and let your arms drop. And now come up to the forehead and press gently forward. You feel a little bit of tension tighten and release and let your arms drop. Bring your heel of your hand to the side of your head. And again, press in, release, and let that arm drop. Other side, heel of the hand, side of the head, press in, release, and let it drop. Now sort of split your fingers into a V and come up in the front and back of your ear. And this time, turn a little bit of your head into your hand, having your hand provide a little bit of resistance so you don't completely turn. Hold and release. Good. And now for the other side, again, 2 fingers, one in front, one in back of your ear. Turn into that hand. Release and let it drop. Good. And now let's just check. How is our neck feeling? So gently forward and back, nothing to make you dizzy. You know, if you feel a little noise, you hear a little noise, many necks do that. That's okay. Not striving for any dizziness here, but just see if your neck feels a little softer. Gently side to side, looking over your shoulder, over your other shoulder, back. Perhaps you notice that your neck might move just a little more smoothly now. Let your ear fall to one shoulder. And ear to the other shoulder. And back again. Very important to help get your neck, jaw relaxed. Because then you increase the blood flow to the brain and then you can find yourself being calmer. So as we're sitting here now, let's work. We've worked a bit on our neck and our head. Let's work on our shoulders. So let one arm raise up toward the sky and feel those fingertips reach up. And let it drop into your lap. And reach up with the other side. Stretch. Feel yourself open and let it drop into your lap. We'll do this both sides again. Stretch. And drop. One more time, stretch up. And drop. Good. All right, let's back to rubbing our hands together. And this time, let the arms just float up, move through space. As much as the space, just hold your arms up for you, rubbing, and let your hands hang loose. So your little fingertips are loose. If you've ever had like wet hands and no towel, you just like flicking that water off the fingertips just to get rid of it, dry it off. And while you're thinking and sitting here, just shake off whatever it is you brought with you today. You don't need it. I guarantee you, if you want to pick it back up again in 30 minutes, it will be waiting for you. But just go ahead and shake it off, get rid of it. This is a great one before you go into someone's home or another bedside. Just shake off what you've already been carrying with you. Just shake it away. You don't need it. Good. And now, same shaking motion, and let's shake all around to ourselves, all the way over to Santa Cruz and down to San Jose, and maybe we've got Oakland on the call, and I'm in San Francisco. So just shake, and there's some good warm welcoming messages. Hello, everyone. So glad you're here today. Nice, happy. We're all in this together. Good. And one last time, stretch up and let them drop in your lap. Oh, and feel the difference there. Oh, doesn't it feel good to put them down again? And don't my shoulders feel like they just went down another inch? Good. And one other exercise to do with the shoulders, circling back. And I know I have a door here, but circling back and forward There's no rush to do this, whatever pace is right. If you have any limitations in your shoulders, just do what's natural and right for you. But very important to move our joints. And then reach out far to one side and bring that arm up overhead. As much as your arm can reach, no strain, just what's right for you. And bring it across, help support the shoulders and release. And out again to that side, reach far, all the way over to Hawaii in my case, way up and across and far out to the East Coast. Help the shoulder and release. One more time. And release. Good. Now let's do the other arm. So reaching back. Oh, hello, picture. And out to the front. My picture, by the way, says letting go. I loved it when I saw it in the store, so I had to buy it. And forward again. And up again. Good. And now out to the side. So now I'm reaching far east, up through the North Star, over and across, support my shoulder, elbow, and help it release. One more time. Reach out far, directly overhead, down, help it release. And if you spend a lot of time on the computer, cell phones, just sitting at the desk, it's always good to take a little time. Let your eye focus move too, because don't just stare at the computer. Move your eyes in a different direction. Good. And as we sit here now, we sort of been relaxing our way down. I'm going to continue to work on sort of the upper part. So now reach out with the chin and pull it back into your chest. And reach out with your chin and pull it back to your chest. Reach out with your chin and pull it back to your chest. Other direction, so scoop down with your chin, reach out, and back. Scoop down, reach out, pull it back. Let the eyes move with you. So eyes go down a little bit, eyes look far, eyes look up at the horizon, and come back. Good. So let's continue this sort of waving motion we've been doing, and we're going to add our shoulders. So we were doing more chin, upper body. So now let the shoulders go back, lift up a little bit, and circle forward and release. And again, circling back, let the shoulders come up and release. One more time. Weave, wave back, shoulders up, and release. Let's go the other way. Shoulders up, elbows follow a little bit, and release. Moving your head just to what's comfortable. Don't strain if you have any other health problems that I don't know about. And one more time, reaching up and out with the shoulders and back. So now we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to add more of our full arm. So let our arms drop down to the side. Let them float up, overhead, and reach far forward, and your eyes are following with your hands. Good. And now we're going to go the other way. So my eyes are down, my hands come up. I circle back. And I come back around into an offering. And from here, I can lean back. I can use the back of my chair if I want. Circle up. And reach far forward. And coming back the other way, I'm reaching far forward, looking up. And good. So now we're going to add a little bit of a voice. And again, you can stay muted if you want. If you happen to be in a place where you can't make sound, you can make sound in your mind, in your throat. But we're going to make two sounds, ah and O. So let's just try those first without the arms, and let's just try. And if there's singers in the group, don't worry about how long you go. You've got great breath, so go for it. So let's go. Ah. And now the other sound is O. Oh. Back to ah. And to O. Oh. So we're going to add arms, and this movement in Japanese is called Azoro Taiso, or cutting the blue sky. And I have to say that just since I've been sitting here, the fog has begun to burn off outside. So I think we're already making our work on nature, because we're going to cut the blue sky. And often this is a way to change our emotion. So as we open to ah, and then come back with O, our body begins to vibrate and change its sensation from perhaps not feeling like we had such a great day to, oh, maybe we're a little lighter and feeling a little bit brighter. So let's try again. So reach out with your arms. And as we lean back, we're going to say ah, and let our arms open. Ah. And we're going to reverse and do O and go the other direction. Oh. We're going to go about 2 more times at least. Ah. And O. Oh. Last 2 cycles, let's go. Circle. Oh. And in palms facing upward, just to empty everything out. Once you're empty, then there's room for something else to come in. And let your arms relax onto your lap again. Good. One more time, just sway side to side. So how do you feel now? We've been moving for 20 minutes or so. Feel a little softer perhaps, or did you find a new spot that needed a little attention? Just softly move with it. And we're going to move into some short meditation. So as I said earlier, this style of meditation is called moving meditation. And the reason is that as we move our arms, it helps us focus back to being here and now. It's very common when you sit to try to meditate and you try to say no thoughts, then you think. So by doing movement, it plays a little trick on your brain to help you focus on something else. And in doing that, suddenly your mind goes much calmer. It does take practice like anything else. So from when we're sitting, our hands are just relaxed on our lap. And I'm going to let my arms drop to the side. And I'm sorry you can't quite see my palms here. I'm going to raise them up slightly just so you see. My palms are facing forward. My eye gaze is slightly forward, soft eyes. I don't have to work hard at this. And I'm thinking about the palms of my hand as just radiating light forward. And we're just starting our first position of the meditation. And as we shine our light bright, let the palms now begin to turn upward. And as your eyes rise a little bit and looking at the horizon, your arms also come up to join. In a very open position, palms up to the heavens. And feel that light that was just in your palms. Now that light perhaps has moved all around your body. So it's now forming a half circle or a big circle. You pulled it up. Just continue the exploration and let your palms continue to float upwards so that your palms come together. Your eyes can also look upward as your palms lightly touch overhead, arms extended to what you're able. And then bring your head so that the center of your head, if you can, is now under the palms. And feel that light now, having come almost 360 degrees. It's all surrounding around you. Air is flowing. Blood, lymph, chi are all flowing. Extend up a little. And let the hands come back down again. Palms still touching lightly together. Coming down almost about nose level so that my eyes are looking right over my fingertips. My elbows are still up. Many people may know this from any other meditations as a diamond mudra. So think about shining your diamond right there in front of you. It's beautiful, awe-inspiring. Each one of us is wonderful. We contribute so much. And then let the elbows drop down as if gravity's pulling them down, and your palms open. So now my palms are about shoulder height. My gaze is still softly forward. I'm not straining hard. And I'm offering. Sometimes it's called flower offering. You can almost imagine a long stem sunrose, sunflower across your palms. And as I breathe, my arms float forward through space, still being supported by all the wonderful air and space around. And as I extend out, I'm offering again further homeward. Bring your right hand over on top of your left, as if you're forming a point here. Some people call it like the bow of a ship. And I'm navigating homeward here. And you can let your eyes soften even further as you begin to let your arms come back toward the center of yourself. Your eyes can begin to close softly if you feel comfortable doing that. So that your gaze is again more downward, more inward. And we're letting the energy now nourish our heart. Bringing your left thumb inside your right hand, and my hands are going to again close back down in my lap, where I'm holding one hand in the other. My eyes can remain closed as I return back to oneness. Take the moment just to appreciate what's here and now. Let your hands release, eyes begin to open. And you slowly are bringing yourself back this place in time. But you always can return there again too. And just let your breath return back to normal breathing. And now we're just going to thank each other for showing up today, spending time together. We're just going to bow to each other. So just relax your hands on your lap and let your head move forward slightly to say, thank you everyone for being here. Thank you for this time. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Vanessa. Blessings to everyone. All right, so take a little moment to breathe. I'm going to change seats so I can come forward a little bit. So if there's questions, I can hear or see perhaps a bit better. And, yeah. Vanessa or Mary can call on people as you either raise your hands or open your mics. Thoughts, impressions, reactions, or if you just aren't thinking, that's even better.
I know for one, I'm so relaxed right now. That was beautiful. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
And I've never done a moving meditation. I've done walking meditation, but not a seated moving meditation. And that was beautiful and so holistic.
Good.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mary.
We're a small group, so if you'd like to unmute and just have a conversation about what this was like for you, or
we can go to gallery view so we can see each other. We don't need to be necessarily, I guess you're still recording, yes. Do you see any applications or questions about how you might use this in either daily life or caregiving?
I was just going to ask, how have you used this in caregiving?
Yeah, the one that I find most helpful for me is the one when I talked about shaking my hands, because especially in a given day when I'm working in the hospital and I'm going between 8 or 10 patients, I don't want to bring what was already happening with another patient and family. So just even to take a few minutes and just let that shake helps me physically say, oh, yeah, okay, that was those issues, that was them, and now here I am. So that is one that I have found to be the most helpful. And certainly when you're arriving at someone's doorstep and you know that the situation's been very tense perhaps, or there's been some issues going on, or you're anticipating walking in, you really are trying to say, I'm leaving my agenda aside, right? And I'm going in to find out what the patient or family needs. So to me, that one helps a lot. The other one that I find helpful, and again, it depends on the space I'm in. So I'm lucky in San Francisco, I have a beach, but I can do and oh at the beach, and just you know, oh, somebody take
not
it
at the bedside,
you know. I just need to regroup. I can do that almost on any hill in San Francisco and find a beach somewhere, an ocean somewhere. You can do it to the sky. It's cutting the blue sky. So I find that one is also very helpful, just because sometimes it's like, oh, I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best. And it's just like, okay, give it up. And bring something else in, and let it go. And okay, something else is going to come. And you can do that 4 or 5 times and find that mentally, at least, my mood changes a bit.
And Connie, as a family caregiver, how would you, when you talked about it in practice as a clinician, but as a family caregiver, if you've got, challenging circumstances or you're just tired?
Yes. I think that, again, we did this for almost 30 minutes, 25, 30 minutes. You don't even have to do it that long. You could do it, for a couple minutes every hour. And you just, whether you step into the laundry room because you're running the washing machine and nobody can see you and they know you went to fold laundry, you can go in there and you can, just say, okay, I'm just carrying so much energy, and it's physically hard work, lifting someone, carrying groceries in and out, doing laundry. So to release and just drop the energy off, again, that's very helpful. And then our hands, we especially, when you're doing such physical caregiving, bathing, lifting, our hands are so involved in that. And so to really just take a little extra time and just say, thank you, hands. Thank you, hands, for what you've done. Let me take care of you because, maybe you're a little tired, a little achy, or in some cases, I'm just on the computer too much. So can I just take my hands and pay a little attention and then find out where, oh God, I woke up with that headache again. Well, maybe if I just massage a little bit, that's going to help. Or, oh, I was really aware I slept with my jaw clenched because I was so busy listening, trying to see if something was going to need my attention that I just couldn't relax. So self-massage is also very helpful for both touching, because people don't touch. In COVID, we hardly touched at all. So sure, why not give yourself a little massage? And you know how much touch you want, where you want to be touched, how often you want to be touched. So so those are some of the examples of just pieces of it you could use. And some of this you do reflexively without even my having to have instructed you. I just put it into a series of what we've done with our movements, because we do face each of our classes somewhat the same way. Let's release the muscle tension. Let's use our voice to sort of what we call break out or step away or step into something new. And then if you spend a little bit of time just attending to your body to say, how can I relax better? Where are my tens today? And then, you could spend a few minutes, whether it's 1-2 minutes or 5-6 minutes in some quiet meditation. You're going to be much more effective than trying to sit and say, I'm going to do 20 minutes of seated meditation. Well, you spend 15 minutes of it saying, I hurt here, I can't think. So if you can spend the other 10 minutes saying, okay, I'm going to relax myself a bit, then you can get 5 minutes that are far more effective and probably go a whole lot deeper. How do other people feel? Anything particular that struck you that you enjoyed more or found needed at this moment?
All of it was good. It really cleared my head quite quickly. I liked that.
Yeah.
It was effective for the short amount of time that it took.
Good.
Do you practice that in the morning or in the evening, or is this just techniques that you use during your workday?
We do focus that you could do a morning, noon, and night type of an exercise. And as you can imagine, the morning ones are much more focused on trying to, get the muscles going again after having been in bed. Whereas in the evening one, much more is focused on the calming, maybe the self-massage meditation, because you don't want to be stirring yourself up when you're going to try to go to bed. And in the middle of the day, it's often just, again, oh my gosh, the morning has caught up with me. Where did the time go? How am I ever going to fit in? I mean, it's not the caregiver's lament, the 36-hour day. So you can do it. And again, we did 30 minutes. You might do 2 or 3 minutes. And the repetition of doing it seems to also help our mind and our brain say, oh, this is what's going to happen now. You're paying attention to me. Thank you.
To reset quicker.
Reset quicker, exactly the right word. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other thoughts or impressions?
Well, I really liked the moving meditation that was had the image of the light, sort of you're bringing it up around yourself.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. It's
lovely.
Beautiful. Yeah. I mean, I think that's at least my overall hope and goal, and from the people I practice with, is to make us all shine brighter. Because I think that's really what we're bringing is bringing the light, and we get tarnished,
Yes.
So, well, I thank you for showing up, and I thank you for your questions. Anything else, Mary, that comes to mind?
Yeah, just thank you so much, Connie. That was a lot. And now that you've got a virtual room full of incredibly relaxed people, I don't know, we may have needed the conversation before we did that.
That's true.
We're all going to go take a nap now.
Yeah.
But no, seriously, it was incredible. And I know for myself, having sat on back-to-back meetings and calls and computer work, it was really wonderful to feel the difference in that short amount of time as well. So for the multi-uses of that and for your multiple years of experience taking us through that so quickly, thank you. And for all of you, and thanks to Connie, that was recorded. So it will take us a little bit of time to get that so that we can have it uploaded to our website. But I know I'm going to be back on practicing. So thank you for that gift as well. And for those that couldn't join us today. We will be sending out, as we always do after these events, you'll get through your Eventbrite email, a follow-up survey for any feedback, which we and the facilitators really appreciate, and our upcoming community connections guides. And if there's any additional information, Connie, you want us to share, we can certainly send that out to the participants. If there's a place that they can learn more about this practice.
Sure. Okay.
But thank you all for being with us this afternoon, and may you have a lovely, relaxed, bright, shining day.